On the Buses was one of Britain's most beloved sitcoms, airing from 1969 to 1973 and bringing laughter to millions. But behind the humor and unforgettable characters lies a bittersweet truth. Many of the actors who made the show a classic have sadly passed away. In this video, we look back at 27 stars from the series, remembering their lives, careers, and the legacy they left behind. A touching tribute to the faces that once lit up our screens. Anna Karen portrayed Olive Rudge in On the Buses, 1969, when she was 33 years old. Olive is the dowdy, accident-prone sister of Stan Butler and wife of the disinterested Arthur. Often the target of ridicule for her appearance, poor cooking, and constant medical woes, Olive became a symbol of comic misery in working-class sitcoms. Yet Anna Karen gave the character surprising resilience, making Olive more than just the butt of jokes. She was vulnerable, sincere, and determined in her own way. Born on September 19, 1936 in South Africa, Anna moved to London and studied at the London School of Dramatic Art. She went on to appear in the On the Buses films and later played Aunt Sal in EastEnders, becoming a beloved presence in British television. Off-screen, she was known for her kindness and loyalty to co-stars. Tragically, she died in a house fire on February 22, 2022, at age 85. The blaze was believed to be caused by a cigarette. Her legacy as Olive endures as a cornerstone of British sitcom history. Bob Grant portrayed Jack Harper in On the Buses, 1969, when he was 37 years old. Jack is the cheeky, womanizing bus conductor who, along with driver Stan Butler, constantly avoids work, flirts with passengers, and clashes with the dreaded Inspector Blakey. With his sharp wit, flared trousers, and endless confidence, Jack embodied the mischievous spirit of 1970s British comedy. Bob Grant's performance was energetic and endearing, making Jack one of the show's most iconic characters. Born on April 14, 1932, Grant trained at RADA and also wrote for stage and screen. Despite his popularity on television, he struggled with depression and career frustrations after On the Buses ended. His later life was marked by several health and personal difficulties. Tragically, Bob Grant died by suicide on November 8, 2003, at the age of 71. His death saddened fans across the UK. While his life ended in tragedy, his portrayal of Jack Harper remains a vital part of Britain's television comedy heritage. Stephen Lewis portrayed Inspector Cyril Blakey Blake in On the Buses, 1969, when he was 43 years old. Blakey is the bus depot's mustachioed inspector, grumpy, scheming, and forever muttering, "I ate you, Butler," in his attempts to keep Stan and Jack in line. Despite his constant failures to outwit them, Blakey became a strangely lovable character, more pitiful than powerful. Stephen Lewis made him unforgettable with his grimaces, gruff voice, and hunched physicality. Born on December 17, 1926, Lewis began his career in theater and was also a writer and playwright. After On the Buses, he continued to entertain audiences with roles in Last of the Summer Wine and Oh, Dr. Beeching. Off-screen, he was regarded as deeply private but well-respected in the industry. He passed away on August 12, 2015, at the age of 88, after several years of declining health. Though long gone, Stephen Lewis's portrayal of Blakey remains one of British comedy's most memorable and imitated roles. Doris Hare played Mum, the matriarch of the Butler family, in On the Buses, 1969, joining the show after the first series when she was 64 years old. Mum is the long-suffering and often bewildered mother to Stan and Olive, constantly refereeing their squabbles while dealing with the antics of the entire household. With her old-fashioned values, rolling pin in hand, and razor-sharp remarks, she added heart and humor to the show. Mum's character served as the emotional anchor of the family, offering both comic relief and a glimpse into the generational clashes of the time. Doris Hare, born April 1, 1905, in Bargoed, Wales, was already a seasoned stage and screen actress when she took on the role. She had a distinguished theater career and was awarded the MBE in 1963 for her contributions to entertainment, particularly her wartime work with Ensa. Beyond On the Buses, she appeared in EastEnders and continued acting into her later years. She passed away peacefully on May 30, 2000, at the age of 95. Doris Hare's portrayal of Mum offered a perfect blend of warmth, wit, and exasperation that endeared her to generations of viewers. REGG VANNEY portrayed Stan Butler in On the Buses, 1969, when he was 53 years old. Stan is the cheeky, fun-loving bus driver at the center of the series, always scheming to dodge work, flirt with female passengers, and escape the watchful eyes of Inspector Blakey. He lives with his nagging mother, his gloomy sister Olive, and grumpy brother-in-law Arthur, creating an endlessly chaotic home life that fuels much of the show's humor. REGG VANNEY's natural comic timing and working-class charm made Stan a beloved character across the UK. Born July 11, 1916, Varney was a trained pianist and began his career in music halls before transitioning to television and film. He starred in all three On the Buses films, and later appeared in The Rag Trade and Down the Gate. Despite his fame, he led a quiet life in later years. He passed away on November 16, 2008, at the age of 92, after suffering a chest infection. REGG VANNEY remains a symbol of classic British sitcom brilliance. Michael Robbins portrayed Arthur Rudge in On the Buses, 1969, when he was 38 years old. Arthur is the eternally grumpy, sarcastic husband of Olive and reluctant member of the Butler household. With his thinning hair, medical complaints, and deadpan delivery, Arthur is a constant source of dark humor. His loveless marriage to Olive is played for laughs, and his biting one-liners became some of the show's most quotable moments. Michael Robbins brought a dry brilliance to the role, capturing Arthur's blend of misery and smugness perfectly. Born November 14, 1930, Robbins had a strong career in both comedy and drama, appearing in Doctor Who, The Saint, and The Pink Panther Strikes Again. Off-screen, he was known as a devout Catholic and a modest man who disliked fame. He passed away on December 11, 1992, at the age of 62 from prostate cancer. Though gone too soon, Michael Robbins' unforgettable portrayal of Arthur remains a highlight of classic British television. Pat Ashton appeared as Doreen in On the Buses in 1971 when she was about 40 years old. Doreen was a flirtatious and assertive Clippy who matched the main character's energy with her own quick wit and charm. She was part of a new wave of female characters asserting independence in a male-dominated environment. Pat Ashton, born in 1931, brought a natural spark to her roles and became a recognizable face on British television. She appeared in popular series like Please Sir, The Lovers, and EastEnders, usually portraying straight-talking, relatable women with comedic timing. Her talent lay in making even small parts memorable through warmth and confidence. Off-screen, she maintained a steady presence in theater and TV for decades. Pat Ashton passed away on June 23, 2013. While her role in On the Buses was brief, her spirited performance left a lasting impression. Norman Mitchell portrayed Nobby in On the Buses, 1970, when he was 52 years old. Nobby was one of the bus depot regulars, a jovial, working-class character who contributed to the show's bustling atmosphere. Though not a central figure, Nobby's presence helped reinforce the sense of camaraderie and chaos that defined the depot's day-to-day life. Norman Mitchell was born on August 27, 1918, in Sheffield, Yorkshire. With a face made for British comedy, he became a familiar sight in sitcoms and dramas alike, including Till Death Us Do Part, Are You Being Served, and The Two Ronnies. He excelled at portraying barmen, mechanics, and policemen, often delivering dry wit with warmth and authenticity. His career spanned over 40 years. He passed away on March 19, 2001, at the age of 82. Though rarely in the spotlight, Mitchell was a dependable and versatile performer who added richness to every show he touched. Ivor Salter played a policeman in a 1973 episode of On the Buses when he was 48 years old. Though only appearing briefly, his commanding presence and no-nonsense demeanor as an officer added comic tension as he crossed paths with the often mischievous bus crew. Born on August 22, 1925, Ivor Salter trained at RADA and became a regular figure in British film and TV for decades, frequently cast in roles of authority such as inspectors, military men, or stern officials. His impressive career included appearances in Doctor Who, The Avengers, Z-Cars, Dixon of Dock Green, and Coronation Street. Despite being a supporting actor, Salter's consistent performances and commanding screen presence made him a reliable and respected figure in the acting community. He was praised for his professionalism and ability to bring depth even to minor roles. Ivor Salter passed away on June 21, 1991, aged 65. His contributions to British television's golden era remain appreciated by classic TV fans and historians alike. Eric Francis appeared as Joe in On the Buses in 1970 when he was 58 years old. Joe was a background depot worker whose quiet presence contributed to the realism and lived-in feel of the show's setting. While his character had few lines, he was one of the many familiar faces that gave the series its ensemble charm. Eric Francis was born on March 21, 1912, and had a modest career largely consisting of minor roles on television and stage. He had the look of a seasoned tradesman and was typically cast in roles reflecting working-class Britain, from clerks and drivers to shopkeepers. Though never a leading man, his subtle performances helped build authenticity in every scene he appeared in. He passed away on June 7, 1991, at the age of 79. His role in On the Buses, while small, was one of many contributions he made to classic British entertainment. Richard Calicott appeared as Dr. Clark in a 1969 episode of On the Buses when he was 61 years old. As the dignified and slightly irritated doctor called into one of the depot's many comedic emergencies, Caldicott's performance provided a perfect balance to the show's zany humor. Born on October 7, 1908, he had a distinguished acting career in theater, radio, and television. He is best remembered as Commander Povey in the long-running BBC radio comedy The Navy Lark, where his clipped, exasperated tone became a trademark. On television, he was frequently cast as upper-class professionals or bumbling authority figures, with roles in Fawlty Towers, The Saint, Steptoe and Son, and Are You Being Served? His performances were marked by a clear delivery and dry comedic timing, honed from years on the stage. Richard Calicott passed away on October 16, 1995, at the age of 87. Though not a household name, his presence helped shape the tone and style of British comedy throughout the mid-20th century. Albert Moses appeared as Alf in a 1973 episode of On the Buses, at the age of 35. In his short but memorable scene, Alf was a cheerful and good-natured vendor who interacted with the depot staff, adding cultural color and energy to the bus depot setting. Born on December 19, 1937 in Sri Lanka, Albert Moses moved to the UK and built a prolific acting career that helped pave the way for more diverse representation in British media. He is best known for playing Ranjit Singh in Mind Your Language, where his comedic timing and warm screen presence won over audiences. Moses also appeared in notable films including The Man Who Would Be King, The Spy Who Loved Me, and Octopussy. Outside of acting, he was involved in writing, producing, and promoting multiculturalism in the arts. He passed away on September 15, 2017, aged 79. Albert Moses left a legacy of inclusion, versatility, and a strong commitment to storytelling across cultures in British television and film. Wendy Richard portrayed Elsie in On the Buses, 1971, when she was 28 years old. Elsie appeared briefly as one of the local women who crosses paths with the bus depot staff. Though her role was minor, Wendy brought her trademark charm and wit to the part, adding a spark of energy and sass that hinted at the star she would become. Outside of On the Buses, Wendy Richard became a household name in British television, most famously as Miss Shirley Brahms in Are You Being Served? And later as Pauline Fowler in EastEnders, a role she held for over 2 decades. Her distinctive Cockney accent and strong screen presence made her an enduring favorite. Wendy was awarded an MBE in 2000 for her services to drama. She bravely battled breast cancer for several years before passing away on February 26, 2009, at the age of 65 due to the disease. Her legacy lives on through her memorable roles and the affection of countless fans. Kenneth Waller appeared as a busman in On the Buses, 1971, when he was 51 years old. Although his role was small and largely uncredited, he played a recognizable background figure within the bustling and comedic world of the Luxton bus depot. Known for his expressive face and understated comedic timing, Kenneth Waller enjoyed a long career in British television. He became best known for playing Grandad in the popular BBC sitcom Bread during the 1980s, where his dry humor and warmth endeared him to viewers. He also had roles in shows like Last of the Summer Wine and Z-Cars, becoming a familiar character actor across genres. Kenneth Waller passed away on January 28, 2000, at the age of 79. The cause of death was not publicly disclosed. His consistent presence in British TV made him a beloved figure among fans of classic sitcoms. Who's your favorite character from On the Buses? It's always tough to say goodbye to beloved cast members who are no longer with us. How does that make you feel? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you're enjoying our content, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated. We appreciate having you in our community.